Teaching English Online, Flipped Classroom. As noted in the previous video, one of the best ways to have a successful remote classroom experience is balancing synchronous and asynchronous learning. Flipping the classroom does help and can be highly effective when carried out right. Let's first define the flipped classroom. The flipped classroom is a blended learning model that reverses or flips traditional teaching and learning practices. In this model, students familiarize themselves with the new material as part of the homework. The class time is then devoted to interactions and discussions about the new information and practicing the concepts and ideas they have learned. What are some of the pros and cons of a flipped classroom? A flipped classroom can help students a lot since it empowers them to have greater ownership and control over their own learning. As part of this instructional approach, the students are the ones who come with questions and lead class discussions, while teachers are there to provide clarification or support when it is needed, which means that the students' needs are in charge of the class time. Through hands-on experience and practicing new skills in class, students gain a lot more autonomy as well. In a flipped classroom, they also have the possibility to master the new concepts in their own way and at their own pace in a supportive and controlled learning environment. The introduction of a flipped classroom provides students with more varied types of learning activities and experiences that can help improve their overall engagement and motivation to achieve more meaningful levels of learning. Please note that you don't have to flip your entire class. Instead, start by trying this instructional approach out in a single lesson and let your students ease into it. See how it works out for your classes, weigh the advantages and disadvantages, and then decide on whether you want to make the flipped classroom a more routine thing. The biggest disadvantage with flipped learning is its heavy reliance on technology, and with students needing to access the internet and online resources for at-home learning. Given the realities in some parts of the country, especially rural communities, have with access to internet and technology, this can present a considerable challenge. An additional consideration would be the IT knowledge and skills of both teachers and students. A lack of digital literacy or proper preparation could affect the quality of the flipped learning experience. The flipped classroom model is based on the assumption that students are motivated enough to pursue their own learning and do at-home assignments on their own. Unfortunately, there is no way to guarantee that the students will be ready when they come to the in-class part. To mitigate this risk, you might want to start by supporting the students in developing self-management and self-direction as part of their online learning experience. You might also want to start with topics that are most interesting to your learners. Nevertheless, the flipped classroom can prove to be a very effective, hands-on approach that helps increase student achievement and lets them have a greater say when it comes to owning the learning process. What are some of the key characteristics of an effective flipped classroom? Students lead discussions and outside content is brought in and expanded in the class. Through discussions around the topics and concepts they have explored, students often get to practice their higher order thinking skills like critical thinking, reasoning, analyzing, and problem solving. A flipped classroom fosters collaborative work. Flexible groupings are encouraged for the in-class part since they will help your students improve their teamwork and cooperation. The flipped classroom makes students shift between various simultaneous discussions depending on their needs and interests. Content is introduced in the context of real-world scenarios. Students challenge one another on content during class. Students take ownership over the material to be mastered and use their knowledge to help themselves each gain a better grasp of the concepts they have learned. The teacher intervenes only to facilitate and guide discussions. Students ask exploratory questions and have the freedom to delve deeper than the core curriculum. Students take on the role of an active learner instead of being led by the teacher as passive listeners.